Dear audience, you're requested to keep your videos off and your audio muted at all times. Kindly maintain decorum during the session. You can type your questions in the chat box and we will come to them accordingly during the Q&A round. Kindly do not unmute yourself unless you are asked to. Good morning, everyone, respected principal ma'am and faculty members, esteemed speakers of the day, and dear attendees. I, Ananya Kumra, and
I, Himanshi Chabra,
welcome you all to the Entrepreneurship Conclave being organized as a part of the Alumni Connect series by the Commerce Association. The theme for the day is Entrepreneurship, Culture and Creativity. We
the
would also
depart-
like to welcome Dr. Meera Ramachandran, the former principal of Gargi College. It is an honor and a privilege to have you amongst us, ma'am. The Entrepreneurship Conclave would have been incomplete without you.
the Department of Commerce, which is home to more than 1,000 students, aims to provide a holistic learning environment with an eclectic mix of academics and co-curricular activities. The department inspires students and motivates them towards breaking the glass ceiling to make long strides in the diverse field of commerce.
Members of the Commerce Association work diligently I hope I'm audible and visible. The members of the Commerce Association work diligently to provide practical knowledge and managerial skills throughout the year with the able guidance of faculty advisors. Varied activities such as Cascade, the annual fest, the Commerce Week, lectures and workshops by eminent speakers, career counseling sessions, and educational trips are organized by the department every year.
We take immense pleasure to host you all this morning for an insightful and informative session with the hope that you take away as much knowledge as possible from these sessions.
The event aims to enlighten the students with the endless possibilities of entrepreneurship and inculcate the spirit of innovation, creativity, and a sense of dynamism.
I take this opportunity to extend an invitation to our patron and principal, Professor Pramila Kumar, to address the audience. Please, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Dear Mansi, Mrinal, Rohi, Lavanya, Varunavi, my fellow colleagues and students, my warm greetings to all of you. I learned that Dr. Ramachandran is also here, but I don't know, I can't see her. If ma'am, you are here, my heartfelt gratitude to you too. I am indeed delighted to welcome you on the inauguration of Entrepreneurship Conclave, organized by the Commerce Association of Gargi College. As you all know, the college was named after a female scholar Gargi, figuring in Bradharanyaka Upanishad. She was a renowned expounder of Vedas, who was acknowledged for her bold and challenging questions to her guru Yagnavalkya. We are committed to continue the tradition of fearless and confident inquiry exemplified by Vedic scholar Gargi, whose legacy we proudly carry forward. Along with academics, our students are always encouraged towards holistic development through various co-curricular activities. This conclave is one such endeavor in that direction. Getting into entrepreneurship sounds cool, but it may not be an easy path. Yes, innovation with knowledge of one's surrounding is a boon to the business. Of course, the stakes are high, but with high risk comes high rewards. One must learn to manage uncertainties, which can only be done through experience. I hope you all agree that key to success is to believe in yourself, make sacrifices, and be prepared to face failures. I am happy that department has been actively raising awareness about issues that are extremely relevant and have far-reaching ramifications for our common future. Today we have amongst us proficient young panel who were part of us few years ago to unlock this very fascinating theme, entrepreneurship, culture, creativity. Without much ado, I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers of the event, in particular the team leader, Dr. Sheila Dubey, and extend my best wishes for the day. All the best and good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your words of inspiration and encouragement, ma'am. We shall cherish them forever.
Commercent is a biannual magazine released by the Commerce Department. Its journey started way back in 2004 as a newsletter. The current issue is centered around the theme of Entrepreneurship Conclave, entrepreneurship, culture, and creativity. It includes a glimpse of two successful entrepreneurs, namely Falguni Nayak and Vijay Shekhar Sharma. It includes a survey on entrepreneurship, book and movie reviews, crossword, trivia, along with the department activities. A paper writing competition was held as a part of Entrepreneurship Conclave, in which 30 entries were received, and the abstract of best 8 entries are included in this issue. The volume also includes a section called Alumni Speak, in which alumni who have been invited as speakers today and are well established in their domain, have shared accomplishments, motivations, and challenges they faced while starting their venture. We will now officially unveil Commercent for the academic year 2021-22. The presence of our honored patron and principal, Professor Pramana Kumar, esteemed speakers, respected teacher in charge Dr. Sheila Dubey, revered faculty, Commerce Association members, and students. We sincerely hope that you enjoy reading the issue.
The paper presentation competition, organized as a part of the Entrepreneurship Conclave, witnessed registrations of more than 150 teams belonging from both undergraduate and postgraduate backgrounds from varied colleges. The participants were provided with an out and out platform to get a finger on the pulse of entrepreneurship and to make the most of it by writing proficient research papers related to various topics in the field of entrepreneurship. I would now like to release the booklet Entrepreneurship Compendium, which is a collection of incredible and original research papers of the participants that displays their undying thirst for knowledge, whilst showcasing their immense interest and the astonishing amount of effort put into each of their papers. This book celebrates not only the art of innovation, ideation, and implementation, but also helps in engaging the students to further develop their research skills and foster their ability to think from a global perspective.
I would like to welcome and acknowledge the presence of the speakers for today's webinar.
We have with us Ms. Mansi Khanna, founder of Tasty Talks, Ms. Mrinal Sharma, founder of Baba's Beans, Ms. Rohi Bashir, founder of RB Kashmiri Handicrafts, Ms. Lavanya Trihan, founder of Crease Design Works, and Ms. Varanavi Chauhan, founder of Paperworks.
It is an honor for us to host the alumni of the Department of Commerce. Our audience will gain insights into the creativity involved in their journey of their entrepreneurial ventures. We welcome you all.
First, we have with us Ms. Mansi Khanna, the founder of Tasty Talks. It is a platform which brings people together over authentic cultural dining experiences. An alumna of Gargi College and Ashoka University, she has a diverse portfolio of experience as an auditor, a sustainability expert, and an entrepreneur in the past 10 years. Currently living in Amsterdam, she also runs another successful venture of handmade cards and limited edition paintings along with her full time business. We welcome you, Ms. Khanna.
Thank you so much, Ananya and Himanshi. I'm very humbled and honored to be here. Thank you, Department of Commerce and Sheila ma'am for inviting me. I'm also very excited to share my journey with my alma mater today. Could you please guide me on how I can share my screen? Because I have a presentation ready.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll stop sharing,
Okay.
and besides your unmute option, you will have an option for sharing. I'll give you the access. One
Yeah.
sec. Are you able to do it now? Right besides your start video option, you will have an option for share.
I don't have it apparently.
Give the access because without that there's going to be a problem.
She's
I've
made me
given
the
you.
co-host already, but I can't see anything to share my video, my screen. I mean,
You must be seeing a share option beside the stop video option. If you could try clicking that once.
I don't see a. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong place. Entire screen. Yeah, can you all see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is my PPT also visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for inviting me. Like I said, I'm really humbled and honored to be here, and also very excited to share my journey with you all. It's very special for me to be here because I was like you. Um, I think I was not, yeah, I don't think I was like you. I was a very, very shy girl. I don't think I had too many ambitions, but my time in Gargi really shaped me as a person. And a lot of it was to do with the professors and the teachers, and also all the activities that we used to do in college. So, what I've tried to do today is walk you through my journey from my time in Gargi to what I'm doing till now, and how my experiences back in college helped me hone myself as a person, and what leaps of faith I took to be on the journey that I am right now. My name is Mansi Khanna Noval. I'm married now, so that's why the Noval is added. And this is my entrepreneurial journey. So I'll start with sharing with you all about the hats that I don. I'm going to take it from bottom to top because I'll tell you the reason why. I uh, s- I think in I have very vivid memories of my childhood. Maybe it was some sort of conditioning, I don't know. But the first thing that I ever associated myself with was being a homemaker. I think I did imagine myself having a family with kids and all, but I never imagined myself having a career. It's got nothing to do with anything, but maybe it's just my personality. I'm a social worker as well. I've worked in the social sector for 4 years. I have TA'd with a professor from UPenn in a leadership course. I've been an auditor with Deloitte for 3 years. I'm a lifelong artist. I've had my social venture, and now I'm an entrepreneur. And the reason why I introduced myself from bottom to top was because this has been my journey. I mean, my imaginary journey, and from imagining to being a homemaker only. I'm not saying that homemaker is nothing. I think it's probably one of the best jobs in the world. But yes, I think in the past 10 years, I have managed to push my imagination about what I could be. And that's what has brought me here. So I think my initial entrepreneurship journey started back in college. When I started, yeah, I think I joined in 2008 and passed out in 2011. So 2008 and 2009, um, I don't think I was anywhere in the activities in college, and I was a very shy girl. I remember Geeta ma'am also telling me, Mansi, you need to speak up in the class. You have to be more confident. And I used to tell her, yes, ma'am, I will do that. I knew that somewhere I do have it in me to speak up. I did have a lot of substance, but probably I didn't have the confidence. But come 2010, and thanks to all the activities that were organized as a part of the Cascade that year, we were supposed to set up stalls in teams as a part of the fair, and then this was supposed to be a competition, and then whoever was the best in all aspects of entrepreneurship was given an award. And to our surprise, we won. I did it with my best friend at that time. um, I was just following what I love to do. I At that time, um, I used to love painting, but I had never thought that my painting and my art would be loved by others as well. So I just wanted to try. So what we did was we made handmade folders of Madhubani art. some belts and shoes from leftover saris. And I think that really hit it off with a girls' college crowd, and we were the first ones to be sold out, and we won the best award in almost all the categories, especially for our marketing. But we didn't know that in our minds at that time we didn't have a strategy, but it was just by chance that we were following what we wanted to do, and we were sold out. At that time, I remember Sheila ma'am spotted me because she really liked all the folders, the handmade folders that I'd made. It kind of mellowed down after that, and then came third year, again the final year. I was asked to design a poster by Sheila ma'am and my friend Tanushri. I was not a part of the Commerce Union. I was not a part of any of the unions. And then I designed a poster for one of the competitions, and everyone loved it. It was in a black and gold theme, which happens to be my favorite color combination. Um, and then Sheila ma'am once asked me, will you be willing to design one or two folders? I said, okay, ma'am, I'll work on the weekend and I'll get back to you. I brought this folder that you see in the picture, and she loved it. And she said, okay, can you make around 20 folders? I said, okay, ma'am, I'll do it. And then I think a few days later, she said, you may have to make 100 folders. It's like, okay, ma'am, I'll do it. And then I think the number of folders increased to 200. We formed a team. We had an assembly line for the folder making, and it was a great experience, really, really good experience. And I think one of the experiences that really shaped me as an individual, because I learned how to take responsibility, how to form a team, how to structure the process of any work. And I wasn't really expecting, but I was also paid for it. So in a way, that was the start of my entrepreneurship journey. And I thank only and only my college for it. um, After that, I was placed as an auditor with Deloitte. My mother was not very happy because she thought that it wasn't probably a profession that I was made for, and she wanted me to study further. I remember Sheila ma'am also wasn't happy. She said that you should do something in digital design. You've got that knack. I regret not listening to her, because now I do believe that. Yes, I should have made a career in art or digital art, but it's never too late. Maybe at some point I'll learn digital art as well and do something with it in future. So, like I said, like I introduced myself in the earlier slide, I've I've had various experiences in the past 10 years. I will quickly run you through my work profiles in the past 10 years. I started my career as an auditor with Deloitte, worked there for 3 years, figured out that this is not the kind of profession I want to be in, because it was really boring and mundane for me. Not I know that people love auditing as well, but it wasn't something that made me happy. Then actually, even during Deloitte, I was making cards and just gifts for people, and they used to love it. But I still never took my art so seriously. The reason why I'm stressing on art right now is because you'll come to know later in the next slides. Then, moving on to the next phase of my life was the social sector. But before that, I did a course known as the Young India Fellowship. Maybe some of you know it already. It's a master's in liberal arts and leadership. It's a great program for broadening and expanding your horizons. I think that really pushed me to take a totally different paths in my life, because I was really inspired by one of my professors who's a development economist, and he set up his NGO in a barren, remote land of Madhya Pradesh in a village 31 years ago. So I told him that, sir, I want to come and work for your organization. So he interviewed me. The whole team of 10 founders interviewed me, and I was selected. It was a very, very hard journey, very hard journey. You join the social sector thinking that you're going to change the world, but you don't even know what's in store for you, and it changes you totally as a person. Um, it was hard because not because the work was hard, but the social sector in India is still very bureaucratic. It takes a lot of time to get things done, and there is a huge lack of leadership training in that sector. So that's what I felt was missing. In during that period, I also got the plan was to stay there for at least 1 year. I stayed for 10 months because during that time I also got married and I wasn't very happy with my work. So I decided to move in with my husband in Gurgaon. And that's when I joined another social sector organization called Rang Sutra. Now, the reason why I worked in these organizations also was because Kumbaya, the organization that I worked with in Madhya Pradesh. Now, imagine I loved the Indian crafts and arts sector so much that I was willing to go and live in a remote village where there used to be a lot of snakes, and my mother was horrified the day she went to drop me to the village, that I was ready to live there all by myself. And then, even after not having a very good experience in that sector, I wanted to give it another chance and work with Rang Sutra, which was a much better experience, I would say, as compared to my experience back in Samaj Pragati Sahyog. But 4 years, and I realized that the growth in this sector was going to be very limited because of the bureaucracy and the leadership not welcoming fresh ideas. And I had a certain energy in me that I want to prove something. I have something in me that needs to be vented out, and I wasn't being able to do that in the social sector. I also had during my time at YIF, I also had a failed startup. Failed because the team dynamics didn't work out, but the project was amazing. Our products were amazing. What we did was we used to work with the street cobblers of Delhi to make sustainable footwear. So the idea was to provide the street cobblers a sustainable employment, and to make footwear that which was a little different from what was there in the market at that time. These days, you do see a lot of footwear with the ikat and the kalamkari fabrics on them, but I think we were the first ones to start them. But the team dynamics didn't work out. We were four people. I had a real heartbreak when I had to bid goodbye to my then startup, which was called Karmara. But moving on, opportunity struck, and my husband was asked to join Booking.com in Amsterdam. Um, I was a little nervous, I have to admit, because that meant that I had to leave my work over here. At that time, I was working as a social sector consultant, and I was beginning to find my footing in this sector. But like I said, I was also realizing that growth is limited. So when the offer for my husband's job came, at that time I was doing two things. I was working as a social sector consultant, and at the same time I was working on the art aspect of my life or career. I was exploring myself through art. I was making a lot of paintings and putting them on Instagram. I was learning about Instagram. But then this shift was to happen. So when I moved to Amsterdam, I was pretty sure that I didn't want to do a job. I wanted to do totally different, something totally different. So that's how Tasty Talks started 3 years ago. It started over a cup of chai and a plate of pakoras that I was having with my husband once. If you know a bit about the weather in Europe in winters, it's really dark and gloomy, and it's raining all the time. So we have a lot of opportunities to have our kadak chai and pakode. Um, so I told my husband that, you know what, I really miss that feeling of going to the window downstairs and having fresh pakoras, or my mother making fresh pakoras. Because here you get pakoras in a restaurant, and that's not the best way to enjoy them. The best way to enjoy them is just off the karai, in your home, or from the street food vendor. So he said, okay, then if you think so, maybe it will work well if you set up a stall in a farmer's market. And I said that that's not something I can do because I'm not a great cook, and it involves a huge amount of investment and logistics, and I can't do it alone. But what I would like to do is invite some people home and try making pakoras and chai for them and see if they like it. So it all happened over one Facebook event that I created randomly one evening, and two people showing interest. And that's how the first event of Tasty Talks was made. So it's a bit about a little introduction about Tasty Talks. Like I said, it started with the idea of me missing something that I really enjoyed in winters and rain. But now it's a social dining platform which connects home cooks with people who love to eat and explore food from different cultures. So the idea is that people can go to other people's homes to have authentic cultural meals with them. For example, if I am an Indian, and if I want to share the food from my home with people, I can create a event on the Tasty Talks platform, and people can sign up and pay for it and eat with me. Similarly, a Turkish person can do that on the Tasty Talks platform, and a Lebanese person or an Italian person can do that. So now it's a platform for cuisine from all across the world and people from all across the world. When I was starting it, I didn't have an idea. I didn't have any idea that Amsterdam was so diverse. It has people from all the countries. You name it, and you have. I didn't even know that Suriname is a country before I moved here. Such was my exposure. But I'm glad that I started this, and now I'm learning a lot more about the world and the countries, um, and the food and the culture that people have and adopt. So I'm very happy and proud to share that we have done more than 300 events in a very short span of 3 years, all successful with five-star ratings. The host network is more than 50 people, and the community is more than 5,000 members. The people keep coming back. We have at least 15% of our customers keep coming back for almost all the events. And I think without me realizing it, the unique selling point of Tasty Talks became its diversity. Um, also, and I didn't realize one more thing was that it became a place for people to come and meet and connect and make friends, find business partners, find life partners, find friends, because the best kind of bonding and relationships are made over food. This is something that I have learned in my past 3 years of running this business. This slide is just to give you an overview of what Tasty Talks looks like. It's a very little representation, but if you see, there's people laughing, doing things together, because we also have a lot of cooking workshops. You see some Indian stuff. You also see this Joey sandwich, friends fans here. I think this is our signature event, which we're also going to do in India. So we recently started doing a tasty talk special friends dinner and quiz night, featuring all the food from the series Friends, and after that there was a quiz for all the Friends fans. So it was a big hit in Amsterdam. We've done 2 events already in 1 month's time, and the Delhi event is going to happen soon. So you're all welcome. This is a timeline of all the accomplishments and milestones that Tasty Talks has had so far. I'll just keep talking about it, but this is for you to see. Um, so I moved in Amsterdam in 2018 Jan, no, in Feb, and my first event was in April 2018. Like I said, I just randomly created an event on Facebook, and there was interest. And the first event was also with chai and pakoras with just a mere €5, I think. But at that very event, what I realized was that we didn't end up sharing just food. We ended up sharing a lot about the books we love, the cultures. Got to know a lot about Argentina, the country that the guests came from, which I don't think I would have come to know in years of working in a corporate or some other place. Um, then in 2018, I kept on doing some more events as a test, and I kept on thinking on how to refine the idea more. There were also times when I wasn't sure about whether this is going to work, but I still took a leap of faith and decided to give it 6 months and see if it's bringing me any fruit. It was very, very hard. Now imagine a person who's gone to a new country, doesn't have any connection, doesn't know anybody, decides to start a business. One would call her crazy. But yes, I did it. I made sure that I went to all the networking events that I could. I made sure that I spoke about my idea. I made sure that I posted about it on all the platforms wherever I could, and I seek help from people. Sometimes people had helped, sometimes they didn't, but that was okay because I really wanted to explore whether or not this idea is going to work. In that period, I also had to face some judgments, which I will come to later, but this is just to leave it. I'm going to leave it with you guys that we're going to talk about judgments later. So, start of January 2019, people started contacting me that they wanted to host dinners and workshops with me. So this was a Bhutanese host that wanted to do momos workshops with me. I was like, okay, let's do it. And we didn't know. I had no idea that people love dumplings so much in this part of the world, and they love Asian food so much. We published our first momos workshop and it was sold out. Um, this was all happening on Facebook events, by the way. I had no website at that time, no landing page, nothing. So things went well. In March 2019, I registered my company. A lot of hosts got added, and we used to get booked out for all the events. Summer was bad. One of the learnings was that in Europe in summer the local businesses go down because people are traveling. So during summer I thought, okay, I think it's not working. I'll have to close the business. But I waited, and then thankfully I waited because start September things started to get better again. So by March 2020, we had completed 100 events and we had a grand celebration. And I was invited for my first ever interview on Amsterdam radio, and I was exhilarated. I was so happy because it was my dream to be invited for an interview sometime at least. So it happened finally without calling for it. Then March 2020, the dreaded COVID happened. And then again, I thought that I will have to close my business. But then I saw that people are switching to online learning. Then I decided to try online cooking classes as well. Again, a hit. Then I thought, okay, that means that I will have to keep on bringing in more diversity, and I'll have to keep the element of tasty talks intact even in the online classes. Keep it more personalized and limited to less number of people, 15 to 20 people, so that it allows for more interaction. And I was so surprised that the online cooking classes turned into a big cooking family that used to come back again and again for all the cooking classes that we did online. And the USP again was that we were having teachers who were logging in from their countries and teaching cuisine from their culture. So people here really loved that. So in in 1 year, no, not even in 1 year, in 8 months, I think we were able to do more than 100 online cooking classes as well. We had corporates contacting us that they wanted to do team building workshops online through cooking with them. So we did those as well. And this was, I have to say, this was all without any rigorous marketing. It was just with consistent work that I was putting all this time. Then July 2020, we had the opportunity to be featured or to become the main subject of study of a master's thesis, which in my view is the biggest accomplishment so far for Tasty Talks. We had this long 50-page document in which at least about 30 pages were about Tasty Talks, and the James Vandenberg is the name of the student. He had interviewed 10 Tasty Talks hosts and 10 Tasty Talks guests, and the whole thesis was about how Tasty Talks or meal sharing platforms were helping the sharing economy of Amsterdam through social cohesion and building social capital. Um, then we were featured again in October 2020 at expat.com, which is one of the largest portals, expat portals in the world. So good things kept happening. Not that bad things didn't happen. There were times when there were no signups for events as well. So yes, a lot of disappointments were also there. It involved a lot of stress and sleepless nights. I got really, really busy, and I didn't have time for my personal life as well. But but it was all worth it, I felt, because I think it's given me my business has given me my identity back, which was probably, I think I was losing it somewhere in all the work spheres that I had been in the previous years. Then all the things happened, the rest of the things that you see. We were invited for another radio interview. I had my first podcast interview as well, which was a surprise because a channel based in Australia, which is so far, found me through the expat.com feature and they wanted to interview me. Then I realized that, okay, COVID is going to end. Markets are going to boom again. It's probably time to have a website now. So all the 300, 200, 250 events that we did so far were just through a basic Facebook page that I used to do work on consistently and make Facebook events on. And that's how, even in a new place, I was able to make a niche for my business. And it's now really expanding, and I people come back and tell me, are you the founder of Tasty Talks, which is really surprising for me because I feel that I'm not doing enough for marketing, but I think the good thing is that the network and the good work is doing its marketing on its own. One thing that I'm really proud of is that recently, just last week, I felt very proud as an Indian to be able to give a platform to three more accomplished Indian artists to showcase their work on a Diwali event that I did. So I published the event, partnered with a restaurant for it, and there was supposed to be this showcase of a hand pan artist, a classical singer, and an Indian tribal painter artist. Um, it was booked out. We had to book the whole restaurant. I had thought that maybe 10 people will come, but eventually 40 people turned up. So, again, a surprise. So, it's been really good, but yes, I'll talk about the challenges also later. Yeah, so here we are. So mistakes I made or I still make are I didn't take tax filing and accounting so seriously, and I received, I think I had the biggest shock of my life when I received a 5,000 euro fine for not filing my VAT. I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't think I'll have to close my business because I can't pay this 5,000 euros. I hadn't made so much money by then. Um, but then being the person that I am, I just went out, talked, stepped into a random restaurant and asked, can I ask you something? Have you ever got a heavy fine? He said, is that more than 5,000 euros? I said, yes. So he said, don't worry about it. You just have to make an application that you are new to the business and you forgot to file your VAT, and you'll be given an exemption. So that was quite a relief. But these things have to be taken very seriously. So, and now I'm going to hire a tax, I mean, an accountant and a tax advisor to help me with that. Um, I'm now learning the Dutch language, but I think I should have learned it much earlier. And if I had, I would have been able to break in to the Dutch market as well. Right now, Tasty Talks is solving a purpose for the expats in Amsterdam, which is a huge population. But my aim is also to break into the Dutch market. So yes, I have this goal of learning fluent Dutch in the next 6 months so that my communication can also be in Dutch. I didn't focus on the branding initially. I'm realizing the importance now that when you have your brand identity intact, people take you more seriously. Even the website, I think, came a little late. Now that the website is here, people are looking at it as a proper business. It's a matter of perception, I would say. It's not that the business wasn't happening before. But when you have a website and you have brand identity and brand colors in place and a proper messaging, uh, somewhere the message goes out that something serious or something concrete is happening. The biggest mistake that entrepreneurs tend to do is to try to do everything themselves, which is not possible. We are humans. We can take a limited number of decisions in a day, and we should respect that, I think. And I did not. And I didn't make any major mistakes, but I think I did end up infuriating a few people, which happens, which is a part of business. But yes, I was open enough to apologize for them. But a lot this what I did wrong is what you've seen. A lot of things that I did right and which kept me going is something that all of you maybe should really focus on. Is that I remember I talked about opinions coming in and or judgment, facing judgment when I started. So when I started Tasty Talks, now if you can imagine, back in India, one would never think that inviting people to your home and cooking for them and being paid for it would be a respectable profession. So even in my family, I had to face some some resistance, and people felt that it was not respectable enough. Are you going to pick up people's plates? I was like, "Mm, I'm sorry, but you don't have any perspective of this side of the world, and I know what's working and what people value here." So I had to ignore them. They did affect me. The judgments did affect me because they were coming from my own family, but I didn't let them overpower my decisions because I was being forced, kind of mentally forced into doing a job rather than doing this. But I was very clear that I didn't want to do a job because I had done that past 7 years. Not that anything is wrong with doing a job, but that's not the person I am, or I was. Maybe that will change in future. I have no idea. If Tasty Talks doesn't work, maybe I'll have to take up a job. But at that time, I wanted to do something of my own, and I listened to myself. I listened to the feedback of people. Tasty Talk started as a dining platform. People requested for workshops. We started doing a lot of workshops. There was one similar concept over here. So that guy had contacted me. He told me that I already have an app. It did scare me a bit because I was doing it merely through Facebook events, and he had a full-fledged app on which he'd got funding. He had spent 50,000 euros, and I was like, wow, how am I going to even compete with him? So what I did was that I unfollowed that account on Instagram and just focused on my work because I thought that if I keep on worrying about what that person is doing, I'm not going to be able to focus on what I'm going to do. So I think I would call it razor sharp focus. I kept that. I really valued business relationships, and that's why people here love working with me. Even when business wise things don't go well, they are with me to support Tasty Talks. So that's something that I'm proud of, that I've formed good business relationships. I kept on reinventing the concepts in Tasty Talks. Every time there is something new, and that's what brings people back to Tasty Talks. And the biggest thing that I did right was to keep patience. I think it took me about 2 years to finally start getting some results or recognition for my work. And I think if I had given up in the first 6 months, I wouldn't have been here. And I am already looking at exploring an India chapter for Tasty Talks and a London chapter. So patience is key in entrepreneurship. I also have some side hustles. Like I said, I kept on exploring my artistic side. Sheila ma'am, who's been my mentor all throughout these 10 years, she always used to tell me that never leave your art. And I listened to her. I'm sorry, Sheila ma'am, I couldn't make it my main profession. Maybe someday it will, but it will be. But uh, I'm happy that I listened to her and I kept on continuing, because without even any marketing, just simply putting things on Instagram, which I don't even do regularly, I got orders for big paintings, for handmade wedding cards, birthday cards over here in Amsterdam, something that I would not have imagined. And dancing was because of my network over here that I'd made. People came to know that I'm a dancer, so I've been invited a couple of times to host, to teach Bollywood dance. These are also, if I talk about the money aspect of my life, my side hustles also bring me money. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to know and keep in mind that don't ignore your hobbies. And if you think that you're really, first believe that yes, you are good in something, analyze yourself, and then keep at it. That's the advice that I got from my mentor. So finally, I just have some advice for you, if you want to take it at all. Take calculated risks. Yes, I know these days everyone says follow your passion, leave your job, leave your 9 to 5. Don't listen to everyone, just listen to yourself. If you think a 9 to 5 job is good for you, go for it. If you think it's not good for you, calculate your risk. If you think your family needs this job or you need this job right now, start your side hustle, keep on doing it along with your job. And when you think you can make money from it, leave your job. But I wouldn't totally recommend leaving everything and then deciding what to do. But yes, you can do it if you have the confidence that you can manage without the finances that you had when you were in job. I was happy with it because I left my job thinking that I don't want money, I want to find myself. But not everyone is, because I have seen people who did that and didn't land up anywhere. Be consistent, trust your gut. I don't think no one in the world can tell you what to do better than your gut. Listen to yourself first before listening to anyone else. Have a good relationship with numbers if you want to be a good business person. I still don't have a good relationship with the numbers, but I have a good relationship with people, so I can kind of make up for it. Assert yourself. Like I said, when you start something totally different, a new concept, judgments will come your way, but protect yourself from them. Invest time in learning. Learn a new language. Learn a new have enroll in a new course, which is very important. It's very, I think your business is a reflection of what you are as a person, and if you don't invest in your learning or building your skills every day, your business is not going to go that far. Have a mentor. I've been lucky enough to have various mentors. Even during my time in BIF, I was assigned a mentor. Even during my time at Deloitte, I was assigned a mentor because I was part of the system. But I think for me as a person, I need to have a personal connect with the mentor. But maybe by now all of you know that who my mentor is, and she's been with me all through these times, the rough times and the good times that I have had. The key, I think, very important thing for one entrepreneur is to manage your time very, very well. If your time is not managed well, your business is not going to work. And I'm facing it right now. I'm going to take a break of 15, 20 days now to structure all my business, make a plan for how I want to spend my time, which activities I want to spend my time on, because I'm also a homemaker, and I take care of my home. So imagine in Amsterdam, you don't have any house help. You cook on your own, you clean on your own. Even though everything is automated, you still have to make those machines work. So, as a woman, as an Indian woman or an Indian homemaker, you don't have time to do anything. So, except just do your household stuff or your work. And sometimes household stuff is a lot. So, you need to have allotments in the day that when you're going to do home stuff and when you're going to do your business stuff and when you're going to do your recreational activities. It's very important, and I'm sharing this because all of you are women and you're going to face this at some point. Finally, I want to close the presentation by thanking Sheila ma'am. I don't know if it fits anywhere in the presentation, but I can't think of any other occasion than this. Um, Not to disregard anyone else, but um, my time in Gargi was the most formative time of my life. All the teachers, I have vivid memories of the impact that all teachers have made. Even in the Commercent issue, I've written, Geeta ma'am used to push me to speak in class. And I think I'm being able to speak like this today, maybe because she said, Mansi, you have so much talent. You should speak well. I hope I've made you happy, Geeta ma'am, if you're around. I really used to admire Sangeeta ma'am. I remember Nidhi ma'am used to ask me, Mansi, are you studying or not? Mansi, are you understanding or not? So I think my I owe my life to Gargi, but most importantly to my mentor. She's Sheila ma'am. She's one person who has made the effort to invest in me. There were times when I did not get in touch with her, but she made sure that she checked on me. And I'm so thankful. I'm actually really emotional right now, but I don't think I could have had a better gift than her in my life. My whole family, my in-laws, my grandparents know about how special she is for me. So thank you so much, Sheila ma'am. And thank you so much, Gargi College, for making me who I am. Thank you. You can contact me on all these addresses. You can follow Tasty Talks on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to connect with me, if you want my advice, or if you want me to advise you on your career, you can get in touch with me via email or just send me a message on my personal Instagram account. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't bore you so much a lot.
Thank you for sharing such beautiful words, ma'am. I'm pretty sure everyone here got inspired by your story.
Thank you.
Our next speaker for the day is Ms. Mrinal Sharma, who co-founded Baba Beans with another alumni of our college, Sadhvi Ashwini, in 2013. Baba Beans is an Indian specialty coffee brand based in Delhi, which sources coffees from different coffee farms. They have also established one-of-a-kind partnership with hotels like Marriott to accentuate the coffee experience and to take the aromas of the Western Ghats and Northeast India closer to the consumer. We welcome you, Ms. Sharma, to address the audience.
Thank you, Himanshi. Good afternoon, Principal Ma'am. Good afternoon to all teachers, and thank you, Sheila Ma'am, for inviting me. And hi, friends and colleagues here. I'm Renal Sharma, and I co-founded Baba's Beans in 2013. And what an intense journey, Mansi! Congratulations on Tasty Talks, and it was wonderful to listen to you and about your journey. And just like Mansi, I also started my journey in Gargi College, and quite literally because I met Sadhvi Ashwani. She was doing philosophy honors in Gargi, and I met her there. And I would say I learned my first concept of being an entrepreneur, which is networking, going out of my comfort zone and meeting other department students and talking to them, interacting with them, and learning what they are learning and what their thoughts and ideologies are. And I think that's where I learned the importance of networking, that don't be confined to your department or your friend circle. Go out, interact with completely opposite fields, because there's so much to learn. So Sadhvi and I were, I mean, we both joined college at the same time, and we had these, I would say, very childish, intense conversation about what we felt and what, in terms of what we felt about the country, what we're passionate about. And we realized we were both passionate about the agriculture sector in India, and how Indian economy were largely dependent on it, and it required a lot of attention, and we wanted to make an impact, even if it's a small one. But we thought her ideologies, which I learned from, about construct of a society and what distribution of wealth, equitable distribution of wealth would be, and my side, what I learned in college, I shared with her in terms of economics, finance, and commerce. And I think we found that, I mean, that was my I would call that the second learning, that you need a team to build something together. As Mansi was saying, that she needs a tax advisor. Similarly, you need 5 to 4 people. You can't do everything alone. You need the other person. You need 2 more people. You need 3 more people to build things alone, because you specialize in something and you put in that effort, but you need someone else, their specialization, to bring on board. So after college, I joined KPMG, worked there for 1.5 years, had a great exposure, learned a lot there. And Sadi was doing masters in philosophy while I was working with KPMG. KPMG sent me to Bangalore, and I called Sadi like, okay, let's go to Coorg, and let's take a trip. And she came, and we both were still dissecting what we want to do in the agriculture sector, what we want to do with the crops. And we ended up going to a coffee plantation, which was our second love together, which was coffee. And we learned, I mean, we had been drinking Nescafe all our lives, but when we entered a coffee plantation, we realized that India is growing one of the most beautiful crops on this planet, and we are exporting most of the high quality crops. And we that was back in 2013. And we decided we want to bring great quality crops to Indian consumers, because a lot of us are just consuming the leftover after what is left. I mean, after we export, whatever is left, we're consuming that. And as a growing nation, I think we deserve to consume the best quality first. So that was the idea. And I think that would bring to my second understanding of business, that in 2013 there were just very, very few brands doing what we do, that is bringing good quality crops, in our case it was coffee, to the Indian consumers, Indian palate. And but today there are many, many brands doing that. So another learning, and I would say the department and the team has chosen the right topic for today's discussion, that is creativity and culture in your working. Because I think creativity and culture has, of course, it has always been very, very important in being an entrepreneur. But since 2 years, it has become way more important, because we have come to realize that we work in a dynamic environment, and we are not excluded from external factors. I mean, and we all learned that in 2020 when COVID hit us. I mean, it was in China, and then it spread all over. Yes, the economy has opened. We have all become global, and we're connected to each other. But the negative aspects, or I would say, not the negative aspects, but other external aspects, is that you get impacted by other factors around you. So the concept of creativity has become even more important today. given the dynamism of the environment that an entrepreneur works in, and how quickly that they have to change. And I must congratulate the team and the teachers. I mean, it is amazing that we all have adapted to this virtual environment, and it's a great fest that we are conducting here. Congratulations to everyone here. So I mean, and when I think about creativity, I would say that yes, work on creating unique products, unique services. So but at the same time, this creativity is a tool that will help you in daily challenges, in your daily work schedule. Why I say that, I'll give you an example of Domino's, which I'm very fascinated by. That, I mean, there was no Zomato or Swiggy 10 years back, but what they were doing, they were making pizzas like other 100 restaurants, but they got creative in their operational activity. So it's not necessary that you need to be creative only in creating a unique product or a unique service. You can get creative in how you function, how you operate. So they started delivery services 10 years back with 30 minutes delivery. And it's so inspiring about how they changed their whole supply chain and got a creative twist to their functioning. So, I mean, always look at creativity not only restricted to your products and services, but in your operational activities. Okay, I am serving coffee. What else can I do? So, what do I love as a company? What does my team love? So, what we started doing was, when we started with in 2013, yes, we learned about coffee tasting, different varieties, and we wanted to create our own blends. That was the uniqueness in our products. But later we realized that we are unable to reach the consumer, given the market segment that we're dealing with. We're mostly dealing with the Indian market, which is used to Nescafe and instant coffee. So how do we break the stereotype that, okay, it's just bitter and I need milk and sugar with it? So we started creating unique recipes, and we started doing a tasting with chefs. We started doing events and starting getting a feedback, okay, and starting teaching and educating the customers that, okay, coffee can be, I would say, brewed or consumed in 10 different ways, and how good quality can reveal its notes, and how satisfactory it can be in the cup. So it's very important when you're creating a product, you of course give your best shot. But again, the whole creativity is not only restricted to your lab. The real creativity, or another side of creativity, starts when you enter the business environment, the real environment. I still remember, like, in college, Sheila ma'am was teaching us ethics, and she said that, it's great in books, but I really request you all to know what you believe in, because when you step in the real business environment, it is going to be tough to hold on to things. So, hello? Yeah, is there, am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, great. So, yeah. So I was talking about how it is very important that you need to understand the business environment that you are in, and how dynamic it can be. uh, and how creativity can be a great tool in not just creating a product, but also in your daily functional activities. So I mean, I would like to share an example. So we had been creating blends for our customers, and we had been doing great with our B2B clients. And one of the B2B clients, a hotel, I mean, she said that, okay, these are great coffees and these are great recipes, but you know what? I have more problems than to just buy great quality beans. And she said that, why don't you run the coffee shop? And this is when we had 4 years in the business of only concentrating on the product side. Sadhvi and I had no knowledge about running an F&B outlet, which is a completely other segment in business. It's a completely other business portfolio, I would say. And we weren't from a hotel management background, but we said, why not? Okay, let's try it out. Let's This is what our customer wants. This is where the problem lies. That, okay, we have created a great blend, we have created great coffees, but if my consumer is unable to use it, then I need to do something more. And that's when I think the creativity also comes in handy, and taking up new challenges. And I would love to give credit to my journey in college with respect to taking up new things which you haven't done. I still remember I was a part of Nazakat, the dance society, and I was a purely Bharatnatyam classical dancer. And I had a very stiff body because given the classical style, and I had to do folk dance, which is more graceful. Of course, Bharatnatyam is super graceful, but it required a little different touch, and my body was not used to that. And my president at that point said, just try it, we'll help you out, it's okay, like just go for it, we'll teach you, you have dance, you'll know. So you'll catch up and just do it for the team. And I did it, and I performed at different colleges with them. I really enjoyed it, and that has helped me. This whole concept, eight, I learned what a leader is at that point in time, that okay, you need to push your teammates, that it's okay, they might not know in the beginning everything, but just push them a little bit, and they might learn the new things that you want them to. And other thing, of course, I would say that, whenever there is a new thing, I always look back, okay, I took up this thing in college, we should do it, we should try it out at least, it's okay, we might fail, we should still do it. And we went ahead, we opened the coffee shop for them, we did all the recipes for them. I mean, that I would say that because of the experiments, it wasn't very difficult for us to put out the whole menu in coffee. And but running a coffee shop is something very, very different from just creating blends and selling to your B2B clients. And that was a new challenge. But I think the whole concept of being an entrepreneur, and it is definitely required at all levels, is that you need to be creative, you need to learn and take up these new challenges that come to your way, and especially when your client requires it. I mean, by the end of the day, you're creating something for your client, for your customer. So I mean, another example, that when we were creating recipes, Sadhvi and I and the other baristas and the team members, we loved few of the recipes, but we keep few of them as trials, that we'll see what the customer reacts, and then we'll make it permanent. We do tastings, and then we roll out the menu. And to our surprise, the recipes that we weren't confident about were loved by the consumer. So it's very important that you create a product, you put in, your team's brain comes in, but and don't be fixated that I need to create the perfect product. It's a myth, there is no perfect product. You need to go out, interact with the customers, see what they're saying, see how they are interacting with your product, with your services, and take notes in the first 20 days, first interaction with the customers, first 100 customers, how are they interacting, what is their problem, and what you need to do. So our learnings was, they don't know about, I would say, how to deal with coffee beans at home. The hotels don't know about Indian coffees. So there was a lot of education that we had to do as a company to our customers, to make them understand this is a great quality product. We grow it as our land grows it, and it's just, we need to consume it, and it's much better than what they were consuming at that point. I mean, I'm not saying any product is bad here, but just providing a quality product as an entrepreneur. uh, Another thing that I would like to share here today with budding entrepreneurs is, like, yes, I'm sure you have learned the whole concept of try solving a problem, and that will set you apart. Yes, that is the focus. I mean, for us, it was. Of course, there's a huge conversation about farmers these days, but back then nobody was talking about them, especially the small farmers. And we wanted to bring them on the map because they do a lot of hard work in getting a great quality product. And in the game, in the scheme of things, they were getting lost. The authenticity, the quality, the tones, the flavors, all that was getting lost in when it was reaching the consumer. So to preserve that, put them on the map, where traceability was something that we wanted. We started working in 2013. That has become a great concept worldwide today, that where is my coffee coming from, where is my turmeric coming from, where is my ghee coming from, what is it organic, what are the conditions in which it is grown. So that was something that we started with. Now the thing is, when you move, I mean, move ahead in your journey, you'll realize the problem that you started with is not the problem present at that point. When we started, there were logistical problems. You have Dunzo, you have VFast. It's amazing. I love the logistical environment right now. It really, really helps small entrepreneurs. I mean, for us in 2012-11, for 10 orders when you start, it is difficult to hire a van or have your personal logistics service. It's amazing. See what the supporting environment is in your business. Do I have the right logistical services? Do I have the right supply chain? Can I step up in the industry and create a holistic environment where we all in the industry can flourish better? So I would really give a lot of credit to coffee industry, together all my competitors or my colleagues, in educating the customers about the coffee that India grows, the kind of experiences that we can create. So that is an effort that we all do together. Now the problem that we were solving of bringing single estate coffees on board, and I would say bringing more specialty coffee, it's not a major problem anymore. So but then that's when I look back, and that's when I sit with Sadhvi and I say, okay, where are we today? Where did we start from? And whenever we look back, we realize that, okay, we started to solve the problem that we will be putting and promoting small farmers and creating an environment where it's a sustainable supply chain. So our work is not done here. Where when you look back and where what your mission and vision of the company is, so it's very important when you start. Yes, define the problem, but also define the mission and the vision of the company. It doesn't end with one problem being solved. I was interacting with one of the students in Tripura University, and he said, I want to create environment friendly mask. It's getting very polluted. And I said, okay, but what after COVID ends? What are you going to do? And what is it? So I said, okay, dig deeper. Maybe your philosophy, your thought process comes from, I want to create environment friendly medical equipments that can help doctors, pharmaceutical companies, and see what are the 10 other things that you can do in this industry. So similarly, you need to see that, okay, if solve, this is the problem set that our company is solving, but why am I solving that? What are the supporting philosophies behind it? What my team believes in, and what after 10 years, where am I going? And especially today, and it's, I mean, forget about 10 years, the environment is changing so fast today. I mean, something that we as kids, when we were in college, Iron Man suit was it was a fantasy, right? I mean, you can't fly, but today it is real. People have those suits, they're flying around. I mean, we're living in a very dynamic and fast changing environment. So I mean, and it's some, and so as Mansi also rightly pointed out, that we need to keep learning. We don't know next moment there'll be something new, and if you don't adapt to it, you might be lost somewhere. I mean, and we think that, okay, it's just for kids, and if I'm 20 years in the business, I don't need to learn. Believe me, people who are sitting in top CEOs and executives running companies for 100 years. I was listening to a webinar. It was an HUL supply chain strategist. She said, we have learning curriculums every month. I mean, when blockchain came into the business, when AI, artificial intelligence, came into the business, we had to go through courses, because when I was in college, these things weren't there. So whatever you guys are learning right now, remember 20 years back, there'll be new things. There'll be, I mean, what today is a part of the curriculum might not be usable. I'm not saying not usable, but there'll be something new 10 years down the line that you'll have to learn and adapt to. We are going through a lot of courses where we learn about, okay, how can blockchain impact my supply chain and sustainable coffee services. So all these things with changing dynamic environment, I really my advice would be keep learning, like, and don't restrict yourself that, okay, I am into the business of food, I will only learn about this. See what are the other aspect, how I can drag other elements into my business and create a unique system for myself. Which brings me to the other part of our conversation today, which is about culture. I think it this is such a important aspect and underrated aspect, I would say, of running an organization, because it is related to human behavior. that as I mean, it defines everything. It defines, you can have robots, you can have all your technology in place, but what runs the global system, it's us, it's humans. And human behavior is unpredictable. You don't know who and what will react. So you need to be creative also in dealing with other counterparts, in dealing with your colleagues, dealing with your subordinates, however you are, and create that culture that, okay, we'll whatever your culture is, whatever, however you want to define it, it's very important that you give a lot of importance to this aspect of the company. Something that I am in my journey learning, that when I started, it was a great friendship that converted into a business partnership, and we would just do a fuss. But as we grew, so it's a concept, and I really suggest all budding entrepreneurs to read Blitz Scaling that I learned from. And it's a concept of how the dynamics of an organization and culture changes when it's just two or three of you starting founders. It's very close knit, you're literally a family together. You are, I mean, they become more important than your own family members at a certain point in time, because you're working together all the time. But as you grow, when we became a team of 10 people, the dynamics change. You need to get a little more discipline in place. You can't have that relationship with everyone. But yes, do give importance to other people's problem, understand them, where they're coming from, what their issues are at work. But as you keep growing, I mean, the author says about, from tribe to a nation is something that you need to define the culture from the beginning. So yes, I mean, when you are running a company of 1,000 employees, there where why the author says you have to become an army, how disciplined they are. And that's how you can get, and but at the same time, do create a culture. So what we love doing with our baristas, who baristas are basically who make the coffee, we always push them that, okay, these are the fixed recipes, but if a customer, you need to understand the customer, and that's our first and the last motto when it comes to running a business. Okay, so you need to understand, okay, if this is our recipe, but if they say, okay, this is not tasting fine, and why we say that, don't change completely, but something as like coffee as a product is a lifestyle. Everyone has a unique palate. Everyone understands their coffee in a very different way. Some people like it strong, light, dark, with milk, without milk. The possibilities are endless. So one of the things that we tell our barista is that, okay, customize it for them, whatever they like. A satisfied customer is what we seek eventually. So, and also the other thing that we do is we push them to create recipes. There is a whole curriculum where they get new ingredients, they work with them, they learn about flavors, not just coffee, but apart from, okay, in how many ways can you get lemon in your coffee? Should I use orange? Should I use lime? Should I use any other citrus food? So that's the kind of culture that we create in Baba's Beans with our employees. That foremost and the most important thing is, of course, you need to know what are the different flavors in coffees. You need to know coffee. And the other thing is, you need to know what the customer wants, and then create a great product or service, and be the bridging gap between what the customer needs are, what the customer demands are, and eventually the satisfaction in the cup. So what the just before my talk was starting, there was the construction started, and I was just like, oh god. So, and I was thinking that, okay, I would love to tell you about this is called the external factors that you can't control. So I was saying, okay, I can't do anything about it. I can't change my location now. I don't know who has started the construction. So there is another aspect, and that's where the creativity also lies and comes in handy, is that your environment, your business environment, is going to have an external factor. uh, so, I mean, I'll take another example from my journey, is that in 2014, we spent 1 month creating a blend for a B2B client, and eventually they loved the coffee, they loved the blend, and we finalized the quotation, price, everything. And 10 days into, we were, of course, keeping a track on the international market, but suddenly the coffee price internationally shot up, and that really impacted our raw material prices. And it was very difficult to get get the same coffee from the farm at the same price, but we innovated in other supply chain parameters that, okay, how do I cut my cost in different ways? I have already given a quotation to the client. It has been done. And what do I do now? I can't change the coffee. I can't change the price. So that's where the another aspect of creativity comes in, that, okay, what else, how else can I reduce the cost? We played out other factors, permutation, combination. Okay, I'll cut my cost in this and still service the order. And that came in, I mean it's very, very important. And today's this thing, where, I mean, at that point the petrol prices were thankfully under control. Now they're also shooting up. So it's where my logistic services by VFast and Dunzo in Delhi have really improved. My petrol prices have gone up. When you enter the environment, I mean, you will be handling 100 problems together. So yes, the services have improved, petrol prices are shooting up, international coffee market prices are shooting up. So what my advice here would be, prioritize what you want to solve and how it's going to impact your business and what you can control. There are going to be 100 fires burning together, but you need to know that, okay, which one I need to first seize out, okay, and which is going to impact me directly. And something that I can't control, you figure out another way, another solution to it. I cannot control the petrol prices at this moment, so what else can I do? Similarly, include that creativity, as I said in the beginning, in your daily functional activities, in finding solution to daily problems. And I mean, I always think that, of course, I mean, I think it was my father who used to tell me, start managing the kitchen and you'll know what it is to run a business. So I mean, it's so similar. And because, I mean, you have to cook 5 dishes, there are 20 minutes, you have to service the order, there are 2 fires running there. And if you don't time everything well, don't manage the timing with every dish, you'll have a burnt food. So it's very important, ask for help, take help. Okay, I cannot do this alone, I need you to do this, I need you to manage this. We have a time limit, and we need to service great quality good food on the table. So I mean, as an activity, do different things, start cooking, do whatever in terms of getting that exposure. And I would love to say that I think Gargi really helped me in that, and getting different kinds of exposure. I still remember I'd already spent a lot of time on dancing and doing 100 things, and I wasn't one of the top students in the class. And yes, like all teachers, they were very concerned that, okay, she needs to study also. But I got this opportunity in third year, that I was representing the top 20 dancers in CWG, the Commonwealth, the opening ceremony, and I was very nervous. And I still remember there was attendance issues and everything, but I said, okay, I'll compensate in this way. I had a word with all the teachers. I mean, there was Geeta Kishlu ma'am and Sheila ma'am. You know what, go for it, this is, you won't get this opportunity again, and find a way to study and solve the problems that are on the side. But this is an opportunity that you won't get again, and we'll help you out, just go. And I think I would be I think that's where I learned that, take that risk and find other solutions. And I mean, I'm extremely thankful to the kind of support and the exposure that I got in college. Whether, I mean, none of the teachers ever said that, okay, you're in the dram sock, you're in dance society, what are you doing? They would say, okay, why don't you do this also? And believe me, I'm sure you all know, BCom honors is not an easy course. There are so many papers that you have to study. So I think that's where I learned how to manage my expectations and manage my time. That, okay, I want to do this, but this is also important. I cannot compromise on studying or on other things. So yes, I might not able to get a 90%, so but I would love to do this and manage. So manage your expectations as well. Don't go so hard that, okay, I want 1 lakh followers in 1 month. It's not possible. You'll tire out the team. Have a plan, and have a contingency plan for sure, because there'll be time in your business that you will run out of patience, you'll run out of resources, you'll run out of money. Have that contingency patience, have that contingency money to push your business in hard times, and figure out a way to when it's completely, okay, you're standing on the edge, have that contingency plan, that, okay, we have this backup, we'll put in that money, because otherwise, and if you have unrealistic expectations, also because you need to understand you're not the only one driving the business. The environment around you has a huge impact on your business being successful. So many companies start doing well because the environment completely changed. I mean, we all have heard of Byju's and Coursera and edX. They weren't so popular 5 years back, but today, because of the virtual environment being picked up, they're doing extremely well. I mean, yes, there was Zomato and Swiggy, but yes, ordering food home wasn't something that was a daily routine for all of us. But after COVID, things changed, and a lot of companies did pick up. Some of the things that we did to adapt to the changes was that we started doing online workshops on coffee tasting and learning how to brew coffee, because how do you interact with the customers on a daily basis? So keep an eye, a bird's eye view, sorry, about your industry. Okay, what is it that is progressing, why this concept will work more, or why, what I need to change in a concept. But always hold on to what you believe in, what you're passionate about. And at the same time, but take feedback. See, from, of course, you don't need to take feedback, as Mansi said, from everyone. It's going to be a chaos, and you won't be able to make decisions. But do keep a note, listen carefully to your customers, listen to the people who have already been in the same journey as you are, the industry specialist, or how it is. Maybe learn from another industry specialist, how, because everyone has the same journey, same passion. They might be dealing with a different product or services. So yeah, guys, I think make the best use of your time in Gargi College, because I can assure you, the teachers, the friends that you will make, and the kind of support, and the environment that you will get is, I mean, it will be a protective environment, and at the same time they will always push you to do different things. Make the best use of these 3 years that you are in Gargi College. And because from my personal experience, it has really shaped me to become the entrepreneur that I am today. Always and uh, try different things, always keep learning, whether you're 50, 60, 80. Keep learning new things. You don't know where you'll arrive and what difficulties or challenges you will seek. You will have problems at home. You will have to learn how to deal with them, how to manage everything together. And I really think that I mean, I was looking at the magazine and the kind of research work you all are doing. It's amazing. You guys are going to be great entrepreneurs in the coming, and I'm so excited to see few faces in the future and interact with them. And I think I'm so happy to be a part of this, and to be here today and interact with everyone, and listen to all the stories of all my colleagues and friends here. And all the best, guys. Thank you, all the teachers, for inviting me here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, principal ma'am. I mean, you all have been a great input in my journey, and I always carry each and every skill that I learned in college till till date, and I will always carry that in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sharma. You truly are an inspiration for all of us. Now, I take this opportunity to introduce our third speaker, Ms. Rohi Bashir, who hails from Kashmir. Before starting her venture, she has worked with MNCs like Check India and Naukri.com. Ms. Bashir started her own label, Rohi Bashir Handicrafts, by launching a page on Instagram and Facebook last year. She has also done her master's in commerce from the University of Delhi. We cordially invite you to address the audience, Ms. Bashir.
Thank you, Ananya, for such a warm welcome. I would like to thank all my Kargil family, principal ma'am, and special thanks to Sheila ma'am for inviting me. Very good afternoon to all of you. And I feel really happy and excited to see so many young business students and so many entrepreneurs for attending the event today. And firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rohi, and I have started my own page on Instagram and Facebook. It is with my own name. Yes, you heard it right. So, I am from Kashmir, but I have been brought up in Delhi. I have completed my graduation in Gargi College in 2013, and then I went for further studies in commerce itself from DU. So, yeah, this is about my personal uh, thing. So, about the experience which I had in Gargi. Um, so, I would say, like, for the love of Gargi, the 3 years spent in college, it has been the most beautiful time of my life. Not only I would say about the environment of the college, but all the teachers, they are so friendly and so encouraging with respect to, be it topping in the class or participating in other co-curricular activities. They are always encouraging you and supporting. And I myself have felt the same and experienced the same. And I would like to, give a huge thanks to all my teachers, Sumant ma'am, Akriti ma'am, Sanjay sir, Sheila ma'am, VK Jain sir, for always being there and guiding me to be the best and to do the best. I remember how I used to, balance my academics and, participating in other revelry events and excelling everywhere, be it academics or, achieving first prize in revelry events. So I always took up everything in my college with best of my efforts, and I always made sure that whatever I do, be it academics or other co-curricular activities, I would want to top it and make the most of my experience, and that really worked well for me in my upcoming future. And um, so this is what I would I really wanted to talk about my college. So before I really begin my journey about the business, I would like to tell you all a very short story about my uh, journey before I started my business. So while I was pursuing my BCom in gardening, I was also doing CS. So I had completed 60% of it. But every time I used to prepare for it, I had this question in my mind, like, do I really want to do this in my life? Like, is this something which will, really bring joy to me if I completed it? So that's from where the tables started to turn. I, gave the CS exam half-heartedly and didn't appear for it in the uh, coming year. So I discontinued it, and then I also listened to my parents advice. Okay beta, they told me ये आपको करना है, इससे आपको ये success मिलेगा, which usually happens to most of us. We listen to our parents and then we might take up the decision. So but that never stopped me from exploring the inner potential inside me. I also entered into the corporate world. I took up the 9 to 6 job. I worked in many big MNCs like Nokia.com and Tech India. I gained a lot of experience and I entered into the field of HR also. It gave me good amount of exposure. I learned many online tools. I connected with many big corporate professionals. So
Sorry to interrupt you, Miss Ruhi. Can you please check your audio once?
am I not audible?
You are, but the voice is lagging a little bit. So if you could just check once.
See, the voice is full.
The volume is like slight low, so if you could just increase up the volume.
Sure, I'll just check. Am I audible now? Hello,
Yeah, it's better.
it's better.
Yeah.
So I was talking about my journey in corporate. I had really good experience. I got to see uh, mixed environment in corporate. Some had very good culture. Some I really loved working with. But then I didn't find, satisfaction in that as well. I thought, is this something again I really want to do in life? Is this something, you know, uh, that will help me to achieve success that I really have, dreamed of? So I gave a thought to it. I never knew that something which I always wanted to do was in front of me. My father had been doing all his life, and he has been doing it since 4 decades. He has established his own business of Kashmiri handicraft. So I took inspiration from him, but then I didn't want to, adopt his business module because it involved a lot of personal travel. So I gave more attention to the online business. I started on my own page, and then I also realized that my culture and hometown, it has a lot to give and lot to show to people, which people are either unaware of or it has not got, due exposure. So I worked hard and looked into the products which I can start with. And here I came up with the most finest and pure Kashmiri handicraft, the pure Pashmina shawls, suits, saris, ponchos, handicrafts, and home decor, bags, and we have kesar, honey, walnuts. So all these, which products which are, as you all know, globally renowned and popular among fashion designers. I really wanted to aim for products which are comfortable and at the same time provides quality to customers. And it depicts a sense of boldness and beauty and timelessness. So this is we what we strive towards our business. So that was it. I started it, but when I actually started it officially, uh, I faced a lot of difficulty because shifting from 9 to 6 job to doing business 24/7, it was a very big task for me. But with utmost support of my friends and family, I was able to overcome all the hurdles. So also, it takes a lot of time, patience, and hard work to actually start your own venture. Right from deciding what should be the name of your business, what should be the logo design, cost structure, marketing analysis, social media content, and engagement with the audience, and keeping up with the trends, online platforms. You have to have a good knack of multitasking. And I myself feel, I every day learn something new, experience something new, and I try to do everything efficiently. And I always wake up with something new in my mind. Hey, आज मुझे ये post करना है, आज मुझे ये story डालनी है. So it always keeps me on the toes, and I always feel, happy about it. Yes, I have to achieve these goals today, and I'll do it. So these, you know, challenging and creative days, helps me to do better. And if you talk about that why, I started this with my own name. Yes, so it has also a small story about it. My parents, families, they gave me a lot of suggestions that, hey, you should name it as per our family traditions or something related to Kashmir, right? Like Paradise or Valley, yeah, mini Switzerland, something very catered sort of thing. और आपके लोगों में कुछ चिनार, very famous tree from Kashmir, चिनार पत्ते का होना चाहिए लोगों में. Then I thought to myself, yeah, okay, I'll take everyone's suggestion. Why not I begin it with my own name, right? A girl who belongs from Kashmir itself, small downtown area, who has big dreams and who wants to show the multi-artistic products from straight from the heaven. So I took up the challenge and I went ahead with my own decision. Got the logo designed with my color choices and my font style. I got so much appreciation of my logo, and yeah, that's how it started. And about my inspiration, I would say I got it from my dad. He has been a mentor and great guide to me with respect to sourcing and manufacturing the product. And about the useful tips which I would like to tell to all the budding entrepreneurs over here with respect to social media. And like Mrinal and he said before this event, never emphasize too much on good feed on your social media post because it takes very lot of time to it. It's very time consuming. So don't waste time on it. Prioritize your time. Have a goal in your mind, maybe weekly or monthly. Never doubt yourself. Engage more with your audience. It can be a story a day, a reel once in a week, or engaging post with showing yourself to the audience. Show your real self. Like people really want to know you. Like who is the face behind your product. So it gives more personal touch, right? And what else? You cannot. You don't have to compare yourself with other people. Be yourself and. Yeah, so this is about it, and I really don't have generic message to each one of you, but I would say that persistence is the important key to the whole puzzle, and be focused, uh, keep exploring, get the right amount of exposure, do what makes you happy, and love what you do, be independent, and yeah, never let third person decide what you want to do because personally talking, I myself belong from a place which is world's most disputed region and where there is always a kind of uncertainty about smooth business operations, and women are mostly deprived of pursuing their own choice of profession. So I always believe in myself, my capabilities and my potential, and I always make sure that whatever task I take up in life I do it with 100% of my and achieve great results. So, to all of you, believe in yourself, dream big, and work hard towards achievement. Because if I can, you can. And I really, really loved Mansi and Rainal, your contribution towards journey of entrepreneurship. You guys are truly a source of inspiration to all the women out there. And you guys are doing it since long time. I have just started it this year only in 2021 January. I have a long way to go, and I took a lot of inspiration from both of you. Really inspiring. And a big shout out to all the Commerce Society students and the teachers for organizing such a great event on the topic which is so close to our hearts, literally. It means a lot. And I think you guys should often, conduct such interactive and encouraging events where we all can connect again and again and share our journeys and motivate each other. I really look forward to connecting with each one of you. You can have my email ID and phone number, my page for more updates. Thank you for inviting me over. I really love you all.
Thank you so much for such inspirational and motivational words, Ms. Bashir. We welcome our next speaker for the day, Ms. Lavanya Trehan, the founder of Crease Design Works, with a mission to make creativity approachable to everyone. Crease is a graphic design studio and an online customized gifting retail brand with a USP of customization. Ms. Trehan holds a master's degree in international marketing from King's College London. She has been conferred with the prestigious Best All-Rounder Award in Commerce by Gargi College. Ms. Trehan, we would love to hear what you have to say to the audience.
Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? I just would like to share my screen, so if you can grant me the access.
Just I'll stop sharing.
Yeah.
Are you able to present?
It says this meeting type requires that you become the presenter before sharing content. I don't think I'm the presenter.
Yeah. Do you have it now?
Yes, I do. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
And is the audio fine?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to right. So all good? Everyone can see, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to introduce myself first. My name is Lavanya and I am a creative entrepreneur and a UI UX designer. For those of you who don't know, UI UX is user interface and user experience design, which deals with design of websites, mobile apps, social media, and basically visual communication in all forms. I have founded two companies as of today. First is a graphic and UI UX design studio called Crease Design. And by the same name, we also express our design in form of customized gifting options for our customers, which is a customized gifting e-commerce brand called Crease. Gargi has literally given me the wings to fly. I passed out in 2015 and there was so much encouragement in my final year given by receiving the all-rounder award or be the Gargi Pathfinder award that, I was just motivated to do something great when I stepped out of Gargi. Crease has worked on some designs for a lot of brands that you guys might have known. It's ITC and Pandora, Mahindra, even Google. And we've also gotten a chance to become a part of Google's design think tank now, which I'm very happy to share. It's basically a cohort of individuals in the design space which come together to design visual communication for their projects. And we are currently working on Google's project Road to 5 billion. So this is pretty much about me, and I'm going to go to the next slide and share a trajectory. 2012, I graduated from school, and 2015 was when I stepped out of college, having done BCom honors and set to do something in the outside world which will really lend me the wings to success. I went out to pursue an MSc in international marketing and graduated from there in 2017 in London. It was a great experience to be a part of a class of 85 people with 83 nationalities. So that was something that really enriched my perspective, my exposure. And there were some countries that I didn't even, I hadn't even heard the names of that people were coming from to attend this course. So it was an amazing experience. And moving on from there, I worked in Reckitt Benckiser in London. Reckitt Benckiser is basically the manufacturer of products like wheat and Dettol, and they do a lot of products in home hygiene and healthcare. So I was working there and I was doing pretty well for myself. And that's when I realized that I was very gravitated towards the design team in RB. I was in the consumer market insights, which is basically we work at the inception of the product. Like we work at what the customer's needs are and what we should create next to serve their needs better. So we work in conjunction with the design team a lot. And having seen what they were doing, I was very interested. I was very literally glued to their screens, what they were doing. And that's when I decided, that's when a germ uh, hit me of entrepreneurship, and I decided to do something of my own, because I knew if I continued, it'll always get more difficult from here on to leave a good started career and do something in entrepreneurship. So I thought this is the best time. And yes, today is the day when I can say that we are managing 2 successful businesses and they are going pretty well. So yeah. So these are some of our work. We design packaging for retail brands as well. So you must have seen the Ranveer Singh ad of Bingo Tede Mere. So this is the package that Crease Design and my team have designed. And these are some of the creatives for Pandora that we have done. This is from Mahindra. This is for an F&B brand called Unlocked. We've done their sauce and condiment jars. We've also done coffee packaging, which might interest Mrinal. We've done this for a brand called Mean Bean and Mean Bean Co. And this is just bird's eye view of the kind of brands that we have worked with till now. This is a view of the kind of products that we make under Crease. So basically the e-commerce brand plays on the aspect of customized. These days, everyone wants customized, be it gifts, be it the clothes they wear, or the notebooks they write in, or the mugs they drink from. So we are bringing that to the customer, where there is one website, you go on the website, the designs are there for you, you write the names, you write the quotes and everything you want on your gifting items, and we'll make it and ship it to you. So the gift is memorable to the one you give, and it becomes customized, and it also steps into the premium gifting aspect. So this is again a tea brand that we worked for. It's called Tropical, and we worked for their tea packaging. This is Bikaner Wala. Some of you must be aware of. They are launching their bakery line right now. So we worked on their packaging of their bakery. It could be breads, biscuits, and namkeens, and they have a lot more coming up as well. These are some design strategy and logo design projects that we have done. This is just a view of how we present it to the client. It can be a little overwhelming, but I just wanted to give it to you here because I wanted people to understand how design can go into, the depths of how the colors affect the emotions of the person who's looking at it, and how we conceive logos. For example, if you have a look at the fourth one here, which is Under My Roof Apartments, the owner wanted to depict easy access, and they also wanted to depict the fact that they are serviced apartments. So we came up with the concept of having a location pin and a key and amalgamating them to deliver this logo, and the client was very happy with that. Also, the fifth logo that you see is a Canadian company called Alta Consulting, and a great story with them was that we had pitched to them, and we were very excited to have them on board. But what happened was that I had a contact in the company, and they told me that they brought down to 2 design agencies, and the second one is offering them the same work for 30% of the price. So that's when I thought that they're not going to go for us, because obviously this is too big a difference. But when I got the email that they chose us over the others because of the quality of work and because they understood the value of design, that is when I got more confidence to carry on this into this field, and I got more confidence that me and my team are producing valuable work that can actually that the clients are actually happy paying for. So now I'm just gonna ask you guys, if you know the exact meaning of entrepreneurship. Now everyone knows what entrepreneurship is, everyone in this conclave is aware, but there is a simple formula. It's basically like math. There's a formula to entrepreneurship. It's basically starts with developing something unique and also solve a problem. Why I say unique is probably in 20 25 years back you could have started doing something that another person is also doing, but today with the kind of competition levels, you have to have a unique idea for a long running business that solves a problem. So we need to disrupt, which is have a unique idea, innovate and bring it to a package product that we can sell, and then conquer the market. So this is a secret sauce that I'm telling you. Most people, no matter how rich or poor they are, they don't want to spend a lot of money today. That's the kind of economy that we're living in today. If they're rich, they're poor, they're middle class, they don't want to spend a lot of money, right? That brings us to, in turn, maximize the value of the product that we are offering. So how do you maximize values? Now this is something which is very valuable to me, which I hold very dear to my heart, because this is what I have learned in the past 3 years, and I'm giving it to you guys because I want that in the 3 years of my entrepreneurial journey, if I can give something and reduce your time that you take to success, it'll be my honor. So if you want, guys, to maximize value and become profitable, for sure, innovate in one of the following ways. Either you save people's time, either you're saving, making a product that is saving people's time or giving them more time. Examples of this could be Zomato, Amazon, or OpenClap. All these companies have saved people's time in ordering food, shopping, or getting services at home. Or you give them an access to convenience. That's when people will buy from you. For example, Uber or Netflix. Or the third is you improve their health. Health, as you know, in Corona times is definitely of paramount importance. So if you are improving their health, they will put money in you. And the examples of this would be Cult, or an app, I don't know if you're aware of it, it's called Headspace, doing really well for itself. So if all of you take into account that whatever you are making, whatever you're innovating, whatever idea you're coming up with falls in either of these three categories, or better, if falls in a conjunction of any two of these or all three of them, if you have something that ticks all three boxes, you've hit jackpot. So this is basically a roadmap that I have devised based on my experience, that if you give them any of these three or a conjunction of these three, you will definitely be on your road to success. The next thing in entrepreneurship is choosing the right partners, because I have also suffered in choosing the wrong partners initially. If you don't gel well with your partners, it can definitely just go down south very quickly. So I don't know if you've heard of the saying that one wrong fish just pollutes the entire pond, right? So um, even if you're doing your best work, if your partner and your dynamics don't match, it can definitely lead to disaster. So work individually till the time that you find the right partner. But when you do find someone who is completely complementary to your vision, that's when you should definitely get them on board real quick. Hiring is another part of my business that I take very seriously, because as Mansi rightly mentioned in her speech, that we can't do everything on our own. So I always hire based on a smile. Now, I need to hire someone who is receptive towards my company's vision and dedicated to work. Then I can train and educate them. For example, I hire a designer. If they don't know a software, I'm fine. If the attitude towards coming in and working in my company is great. So I hire based on the smile and then train and educate my employees. And implementing the right culture is very important. as all the speakers I think spoke about this topic, that culture is what you bring into your business. Brand is what you are, and culture is who you are as a person. So in my business increase, we have a culture that employee value is paramount. Now, what I mean by that is, if a client comes back and tells me that this is not done the way they want it, the designer handling it will not go to the client explaining. I will, because I'm the one accountable, and then I have an internal meeting with them, understanding what their issues were. That way you gain the trust of your employee, which is very important, because you have to nurture a relationship with your employee first, and then the customers. So if you have your employee happy working for you, that's the best kind of situation or condition that you can hope for. Another culture that I have implemented in Crease personally is that everything going out and in of my company goes through me. So anything that comes in as a brief goes through me to my team, and any output that they've produced goes through me. So that way I control the reputation and the kind of projects that we are putting out in the market. So these are just examples of some cultural probably culture things that you can put out in your business, and these actually shape the identity of your business, because tomorrow an employee who's worked with you will always remember you for the culture that you inculcated in the working or in the day-to-day working. And then one most important thing that I think you should do before thinking of entrepreneurship, or before you've had an idea or after you've had an idea, is that you have to map the entire customer journey. For example, I had the idea that today I have a really cool idea to start, for example, a seafood restaurant, right? So I will map the entire journey in my head and all the touch points where I can provide value to the customer. So it could be the way they get to know about the restaurant, the way they enter, where they sit, how they order, how they eat, who greets them, how many times they greet them, how they pay, and how we greet them to come back. So the entire journey, if it is mapped out and we put different touch points at how we can maximize the experience of the customer, that is also a very important part of mapping out your road to success. And finally, I would like to give you the main takeaway, which I have learned in this entrepreneurial journey, is that business of business is relations. The why we do business is to build relations with our customers, with our community, with our network, and with our employees. If you are not building a relationship with your any of these stakeholders, then you are lacking. But even if you're building a relationship and not making the profit that you want to make, you're still on the path of success. So this is a quote written by me, which says, "Great entrepreneurs are friendly and kind to everyone, because you never know who you're talking to and who can bring you the next business opportunity." So always be friendly, kind, and always be receptive to others' needs, because even if someone's sharing, a sob story or anything that you might not be interested in, it could either bring you a business opportunity or a business idea which you could cash into. So that's pretty much my time. I invite you all to connect with me. This is my LinkedIn and Crease's Instagram pages. You can also drop me an email in case you need to talk about any ideas you have or mentorship. I'm always there to solve any problems that my fellow Gargi girls have. And coffee is definitely on me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rehan, for your incredibly knowledgeable and enlightening words. We are truly mesmerized by your beautiful designs. Our last speaker for the day is Ms. Varnavi Chauhan, founder of Paperworks India, a sustainable startup that remodels stationery into a plantable one, completely eco-friendly packaging at extremely affordable prices. The paperwork stationery can be planted and grown into beautiful plants. We are elated to hear what you have to say, Ms. Chauhan.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
All right, awesome. Can I please share my screen?
Sure, sure.
Are you able to share?
You are on mute, I guess.
Thank you for that. Hi everyone. So my name is Varnavi and I'm really grateful to be here, particularly because I just graduated. So it's not even been a year for me to say that, I'm like a old alumni. I'm a very fresh alumni of Kargis, as well as I'm really inspired by what everybody has just shared about their businesses, and surely they have some great insights that I also took note of. So that's pretty amazing. Just to give you guys a little bit. Hi, is anybody saying something? Okay, I'll begin. So, just to give a little bit of brief, I am the founder of Paperworks, which is a sustainable stationery business. So, coming to think of it, like when we talk about stationery in general, right? Like as college students or even as school students nowadays, we don't really give that much importance to stationery because it's like, yeah, it's everyday use, but we're turning into this digital era wherein we're constantly working on a laptop. So, why do we even need to think about something that's going to remodel stationery in general? So, that was particularly one of the reasons why I used to think that, okay, if I'm sort of trying to be a zero waste lifestyle person, what is it that I can do to curb the amount of plastic that I generate? And in that same light, I just realized that, um, the more amount of plastic that comes into my life is actually through stationery. And the reason being that, we tend to go to college, we tend to like sort of do our assignments, we tend to sort of submit our tests on paper, as well as we utilize a lot of stationery in our daily lives, which we never really take account of because it's so ordinary for us and it's so in use every day that it's very difficult for us to sort of even channelize that, okay, this is something that's actually creating 1.5 1.9.9 million tons of waste every year, right? And in that same light, I remember just talking to a friend in college about it, that why hasn't somebody even thought of doing something about it? Why hasn't something really like come into play? Like we have so many upgradations, we have so many innovations that come into play, but we've never really heard anything that is going to change the way we use stationery. And I remember like sort of just researching through it, and like because I know like our generation is very sort of comfortable online, and we tend to like sort of use Google as a best friend. Like any problem we have, we just tend to type it. I wouldn't recommend it for medical issues that people have, but in other terms, like anything that you wish to learn about, be it cryptocurrencies, be it literally businesses or anything, we genuinely try to utilize internet searches for that. And I remember reading about it and I was just like, all right, so like my um upbringing has been into a family that is of services, so that automatically gave me this sort of inborn, I would say, drive to sort of do something that derives change. And in that same light, I was remembering like, okay, we used to quill pens, we used to sort of quill things to make cards. Why not like I quill the body of the pen to the ink and see if I can change the plastic out of it? And I was able to do that. Obviously, when I first started it out, it was very slimy. I wasn't even able to hold it because it wasn't sturdy enough. But more over time, I just realized that this is something that can be done if I have the right materials for it. And coming from DU, one thing that actually gives you a very, very great insight is how to humble yourself. In a sense that, I started my business with just 4,000 rupees. And that is the most millennial thing that I've ever done. Because, usually, even I think for people who say that, starting a business requires you to invest a little of your capital, I genuinely just deposited things that I had saved, and that was just 4,000 rupees in due. Because and that time 4,000 rupees also seemed like a very big deal to me, primarily because we used to visit our canteen and we used to get food for 10 rupees. So, and like our commute was also 10 rupees, metro isn't that expensive. So in that same light, I was just mapping it out that okay, 4,000 is a lot of money, how do I do it and everything. But yeah, I can say that our generation is one that is also sort of crippled with a little bit of self doubt, in terms that we often question that whether we can do it, whether we can pursue something on our own or not. And in that light, I really am very thankful to the societies and the teachers that I've met at Gargi. I was a part of Commissant, I was a part of Marketing Society, and I've had amazing mentors in both of these societies. Not only have I learned in order to sort of how to utilize my creative talent to sort of go ahead and make things on social media via the Marketing Society PR advantage that a lot of students need to sort of open up to, because it really hones your communication skills a lot. And then moving to commerce and the editorial skills, as well as how to sort of organize and plan things out, is something I learned from commerce. So I do feel that your co-curriculums are as important as your academics in school or even in college, right? And moving towards the journey of paperworks, I remember I love to make content, and I just sort of started an Instagram page and I started making content, and slowly by slowly I was getting orders for 10 pens, then 100. Now we're selling up to 2,000 pens up to a month or so, and like in a year also we have about 2,000 clients. So that was pretty amazing, and this is something that I started in my third year of college, knowing that we were going into a lockdown state, and I was particularly very anxious that I really don't know how this is going to change our outlay. Are we even going to sit for placements? Because at that point of time everything was so uncertain, you just didn't have any clue. And I remember like my father telling me that if you're so anxious, and if you're so worried about what's going to happen, why don't you do something that you can utilize your college degree with. And I remember just sort of taking that into account, and I was just sort of started my business. And on Instagram, very I'm speaking in to you in a term that I feel that most of you would relate to, particularly because everybody is on Instagram, everybody likes to scroll through the feed, everybody likes to see things. So in that same light, I was just another kid like you, and I was just sort of trying it out that okay, this is what I like to do. I've just learned Canva from the societies that I was a part of. Why not just utilize something and make something on Canva? And I did that, and slowly by slowly people started recognizing my efforts. And that was something that gave me the drive that okay, if people actually believe in a concept that is so sustainable, why don't I diversify from just pens to literally every product that is there. And I remember like researching about different things, also like going intensively into the study of sustainability, because I wanted to be that person who sort of could answer questions related to my products and their planting techniques. And in that same light, I remember like when we were sort of getting up to 100 and 200, I remember I could not do it on my own. So I was like contacting about 70 vendors who could sort of manufacture products according to our needs. And in that same light, we were not only focusing on the aspect that A, it should be sustainable, but at the same time, we were also making sure that at the end of the day, we would just hold on. I've got a message that my screen is. I am not sharing my screen because I'm not able to, but it's all right. Let's just roll through this. And moving towards the point that, you know, 70 vendors. And in the same light, I remember that my goal was not only to sort of achieve a sustainable lifestyle for the people or for the customers that I was catering to, but also make sure that whatever business practices we adopt are sustainable in itself. And in that same light, we don't use any form of plastic in our packaging. B, we made sure that our vendors were close to us. Reason being that we wanted to reduce the carbon footprint that it comes. Obviously, we had options coming in from Nagpur and Bangalore, wherein people were giving it to us for literally half the rates that we are getting here. But that again, if you think about it in long term would be more expensive to us, depending on we're a sustainable business and we this is what we want to adopt. So this again comes from not only the I would say knowledge people have on how to run businesses, but genuinely also about how the drive you have and the curiosity you have to sort of go ahead and pursue any idea that you wish to. The topic today that we have is about entrepreneurship, about the creativity and the culture. So I think that there is a creative aspect to every idea that we have, be it as common as you might think. I remember one of my friends telling me that she wanted to do something with art, but she was just very dull about it because it's not very creative enough. But the creativity does not lie in the idea but the execution of it, right? And in that same light, entrepreneurship is a beautiful journey in itself because it not just teaches you about how to run businesses, but it also helps you explore what are the things that you're exceptionally good at. I was a person who was really into photography, and I utilized that hobby of mine to literally do my own product photo shoot at home. And I remember getting like different chart papers and like literally setting it up in my garden and like clicking aesthetic photos and then just editing it a little bit to give that niche sort of description or to give that sort of niche display that I wanted. And that is how it worked out. And I remember I sold my first corporate order to Indian Oil, and they basically got pens from us for the Diwali packaging. And it was the one first order that I was so petrified of because everything was, going to be very official. And it was a really huge order. We had about 5,000 sort of things to manufacture for them and in their logo, their branding. And again, like we had to test every seed quality that we were putting. So in that same light, I was just sort of into that idea that okay, this is how we're going to proceed and this is how we're going to do it. And in that same light, I just realized right now that if each one of us, even when you're a part of this society, even when you're hosting this event, you are sort of enabling yourself to learn more about the skills and also reflect the skills that you possess in terms of your professional ability to do things, right? And in moving towards the culture aspect, I would say that a lot of people in my generation, and I was particularly a person who was very intrigued with doing stuff. I wanted to learn each and everything that was there, and for the same reasons, like I never backed out of opportunities, which is something that also becomes a little hard hitting, knowing that you cannot do everything all by yourself as one of the entrepreneurs you have mentioned. But at the same time, it's sort of just that drive of learning everything and just going ahead and doing everything also teaches you that okay, this is how much you can grasp and this is how much you can excel at things. And I remember like when I first started paperworks, I think I was talking to Sheila ma'am about it, and I was just sort of on call and I was just explaining it to her, and she said it's an amazing idea and everything. And that was like around the time when I was sort of about to sell my 100 order, and like I was about to sort of push this into a major action and actually have like an entire branding and everything set up. So in that same light, I was just very very anxious as to how this is going to work out and how this is going to sort of play out. But in that same light, it just sort of gave me the idea that when you have an idea that you're so passionate about, when you have an idea that is not only doing good to you but as well as is taking care of the society, people are going to stick with you and people are going to hold your hand as a sign of support, right? And this is what our generation actually needs right now. Every time you get an opportunity to intern with the startup, do it. And the reason why I say it is because startups have more gravity in terms of offering you the plethora of opportunities than any other big corporation can. Big corporations are pretty rigid in their manner of operations, but the lower organizations are pretty open and flexible to give you a grasp of each and every field that they're operating in. And that is another beauty of entrepreneurship and startups. And moving towards the end, right now at Paperworks, we've diversified our portfolio to printing and moved over to the wedding businesses. We're actually printing out cards now on seed paper for different weddings that are happening around Delhi. And that is something that's also pretty interesting because I recently got this request in terms of designing the wedding card myself for a client. And again, imagine like a person who just learned Canva out of working for college societies, making posters like you've made here. And I was just sort of intrigued with how can I learn more, and I was just sort of signing up for courses free on Coursera, which I feel Gargi has now utilized in terms of giving that platform to students to learn about courses. So I would say that in all, just because we're a little short on time, I would say that whatever opportunities you have in life, you should make the most of it. And at the end of the day, college is a place for you to have fun, yes, but at the same time, it is one place, it is those 3 years that can shape you into a much better person that you wish to be in a professional as well as a personal sense, right? And Gargi is an opportunity, and Gargi as an environment is very empowering in itself, which is what I have sort of recollected from my 3 years there. And this is pretty recent as well. So I hope everybody here actually pursues an idea, or even goes ahead to sort of try and test it out, because there is no harm in sort of going ahead and pursuing entrepreneurship, and making sure that at the end of the day you're happy with what you do, right? And if you do have any questions, or even if you do have any ideas that you wish to have some guidance on, you can definitely reach out to me on Instagram or LinkedIn, whichever place you feel comfortable, and I'm available. So yeah, thank.
Thank you, Mr. Han, for enlightening all of us with such wonderful words. The alumni of an institution play an important role in its growth. Gargi College has to its credit several successful alumni who have made a mark in the entrepreneurial world. The time has finally arrived where we will be felicitating the illustrious alumni entrepreneurs of Gargi College with the citation for their great contribution in the field of entrepreneurship.
The great achievers are Ms. Toshika Agarwal, founder of Hoik. Hoik is the closed community for students where they can interact with business leaders and industry experts to accelerate learning.
Next, we have Ms. Malika Kamboj, founder of Perceive Differently. Perceive Differently is a new age marketing and creative agency that helps to level up your marketing game. The services include branding, social media, photography, and many more.
Following her is Ms. Nikki Agarwal, founder of Headwest Migration Services, which focuses on study abroad counseling and visa processing. It provides an online platform for the students to study.
Next, we have Ms. Shubhangi Jaiswal, founder of Prinde Travels, an adventure travel firm incorporated in 2017 that started leading treks in the Himalayas. Till date, they have led more than 20 treks in Himachal, Uttarakhand, and Ladakh.
Following her is Ms. Vani Agarwal, founder of Thinking Spree. Thinking Spree is a strategy and innovation consulting firm that uses design products to help organizations scale. The USP of their organization is to generate limitless ideas with the help of our virtual brainstorming sessions.
Last but not the least, we have Ms. Drishti Tantia, founder of Atharva Capitals. The aim of this venture, which is still in the initial stage of launching their page, is to promote flat fee financial advisory in India and create awareness in youth regarding the power of savings at an early stage of life.
Congratulations to all the entrepreneurs. We would now like to invite Chavi Agarwal, the president of the Commerce Association, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Commerce Association, Gargi College, I, Chavi Agarwal, take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to everyone who graced us with their presence and made this event a success. I express my deep sense of gratitude to our guest speakers, Ms. Mansi Khanna, Ms. Mrinal Sharma, Ms. Ruhi Bashir, Ms. Lavanya Trehan, and Ms. Varunavi Chauhan for sparing out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with their entrepreneurial journey. I thank them for sharing with us their remarkable views on the role of innovation and creativity in entrepreneurship. My heartfelt thanks to our principal, Professor Promila Kumar, for her encouragement and guidance in organizing the event. I also extend my thanks to our teacher in charge, Dr. Sheila Dubey, for her valuable inputs. A special thanks to the Commerce Association's faculty advisors, Dr. Sheila Dubey, Ms. Sumant Meena, Ms. Akriti Chaudhary, and Dr. Varun Bhandari for their unflinching support and guidance. I would like to thank all the faculty members of the Department of Commerce for their efforts and supervision throughout the journey. I also express my gratitude to all the alumni entrepreneurs who graced the occasion with their presence. Special thanks to the Commission team's faculty advisors, Dr. Geeta Kichlu, Dr. Sangeeta Jairat, Dr. Romita Popley, Ms. Rupal Arora, Ms. Nupur Tyagi, and Ms. Isha for their support in the paper presentation competition. I also extend my thanks to Mr. Anuj Bhardwaj for his technical assistance. A big thank you to all the attendees for being such a wonderful audience. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the dedicated team of the Commerce Association who worked behind the scenes to make this event happen. Here, I would like to end with a thought provoking quote that entrepreneurship is not about the unique ideas, but about making those ideas happen. With this thought in mind, I hope that the Entrepreneurship Conclave has been a knowledgeable experience for all. Thank you.
I would like to express my immense gratitude to all of you who were present here till the very end. Thank you for joining us to discuss the topic. We appreciate you signing in and hope you learned all about entrepreneurship from this webinar. We would be resuming with the paper presentation competition at 2 p.m., where the shortlisted teams will be presented their research work. See you all there. Thank you for joining us today. You all can log off. Thank you.